Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about when wine can benefit your strategies around autophagy and ketosis, and when you want to ditch it and not lean into your glass of wine. So get ready. This is definitely one of my most favorite videos I've done for you guys in a long time. Okay, let's talk about wine, and let's put it in a context of how will it affect autophagy and how is it going to affect ketosis. So I know there's a lot of videos done here on YouTube on alcohol in general. I will do another video on alcohol, but today I want to talk about wine because there are some pros to wine and there are some cons to wine. And I want to give you guys a way to look at this so you can decide if it's right for you. So I was actually last night on a Reset Academy call with the members there talking about how do we go through the holidays and keep ourselves as healthy as possible. This is literally the most dangerous time for our health. And a lot of people at this time of year, as we go into November and December, they just kind of have this, never mind, I'll deal with it in January mentality. But there are some really wonderful ways as you go through the holiday where you can literally have your cake and eat it too. Or in this case, have your wine and drink it too. So let me go through, I went to the research. You guys know how I like the research. So I went to the research today and I found 4 really legitimate reasons why wine, specifically red wine, can be really beneficial for maximizing autophagy and for helping you get into ketosis. And for some of you, this may be a really interesting way to help you get over those hurdles that you have been struggling with when it comes to the ketogenic lifestyle. So then I'm going to talk about some cons, and then I'm going to show you how do you pick a wine that will keep you in ketosis as long as possible. So, okay, 4 things. First thing I want you to think about, first pro to wine, is that it relaxes you. So all different alcohols are going to have a different effect on your nervous system. But there's some great research out there showing that a glass of wine, so 1 glass of wine, in moderation, this is all drinking in moderation, will lower cortisol. Now, go back, if you're trying to balance hormones, go back and watch some of those interviews I did with Anna Kabecka, because she talks about the hierarchy of hormones, that when you stimulate oxytocin will control cortisol. When you control cortisol, you control insulin. When you control insulin, you control your sex hormones, progesterone, testosterone, and estrogen. So those of you that are trying to balance your hormones, you're trying to regulate insulin, something as simple as a glass of wine can actually help relax you because it will bring down cortisol. And when cortisol comes down, insulin's going to come down. So pro number 1 is it relaxes you and it has the potential to lower cortisol. Now, it also, I found many studies showing that heavy consumption of alcohol will do the opposite and raise cortisol. So again, I'm going to say in moderation, but a glass of wine lowers cortisol, your stress goes down, good possibility that that's the moment you're able to go into ketosis because you got to bring cortisol down to bring insulin down. Okay, second reason where wine may serve you in your ketogenic and autophagy lifestyle is resveratrol. You guys have heard this. You saw my interview with Naomi Whittle. She brought resveratrol from Europe over to America and made it really quite popular. Yes, you can get resveratrol in supplementation. But if you're at a party and you're drinking red wine, which is where you'll find resveratrol, there's a good chance that that can act in your favor, especially on a day where you're trying to stay in autophagy. So resveratrol will improve or stimulate autophagy. And if you're in a day where you're following one of my autophagy fasts, where you're fasting 17 hours, you're keeping your protein under 20 grams, and then you throw in a glass of red wine, it's very similar to organic coffee and throwing in a coffee or throwing in green tea. It can have a continued effect on autophagy. And there's incredible studies on resveratrol. And so you can use it again as we go into the holidays in moderation. A pro of drinking wine is that it can help you stimulate autophagy. Okay? Pro number 3, and this was a really interesting study. I will link all these studies in the notes, so know that they'll be there. But this was a study that they showed, and it's recent. It's a 2019 study that showed moderate red wine consumption can improve your gut diversity. And when you increase your gut diversity, the study went on to say is when you increase your gut diversity, you can decrease cholesterol. Okay, so let's go to you guys that are going keto, and all of a sudden your cholesterol goes up. I'm not telling you that the prescription is wine, but I'm saying that a glass of wine has some benefit on the microbiome. And if you're missing the microbiome balance that you need to lower cholesterol, it is a polyphenol. It's a polyphenol, and it has the potential to feed the good bacteria. I will tell you that in my clinic, we do a ton of gut zoomer tests. A lot of you guys have done it with us, and very, very few people come up with enough diversity. Remember that there's trillions of gut bacteria, and if you're taking the same probiotic, eating the same food over and over again, you're getting a monoculture of that bacteria. So when you go and you drink wine, specifically red wine, and you take the grapes from one grower, and then you get grapes from another grower, and then another grower, now you've got this diverse polyphenol count. So just because it's all red wine to your gut bacteria, it may have a different effect because it's coming from different growers, different fields. Pretty cool, right? So diversity, if you want to increase your diversity, a glass of wine will increase the polyphenol count and can help with growing good gut bacteria. If you want to know what your gut bacteria looks like, put Gut Zoomer in the comments. We'll send you a link to our favorite gut test. This is an incredible test for helping people understand what they need to be eating and drinking to improve their microbiome. The Gut Zoomer would do that for you. Okay, pro number 4. Now, this one was brought to my attention by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I've been really loving his teachings. If you're not familiar with him, he's all over YouTube here. You can go to his website. We'll put a link in the notes. But he does wine tours. So this is a man who, what I love about Dr. Joe Dispenza is that he does brain scans of people. So he will do deep meditations, and then he does brain scans to see what that meditation is doing. So he does wine tours in Italy, and he found that when people were looking to change their behaviors, that when they incorporated wine into their lifestyle, that it actually was helpful in helping them change their behavior and helping them take on some new positive behaviors and not get stuck in the old behaviors. Okay, so my science brain was like, explain that to me. How does that work? Now you can go back and you can look at some of the videos I've done on dendrites and neurons, but here's what I found in the science, and this is what Dr. Joe says in the video that I'll link below, is that we've got these dendrites that sit on the end of neurons, and when you are thinking a thought, the thought gets traveled across the neuron, goes across the dendrite, and then it crosses over into another dendrite, and it continues the thought pattern. So he has a saying, and it's not just his, Dr. Bruce Lipton, a lot of people are talking about how thoughts that we keep thinking over and over and over again, they get hardwired together. Now, we know with things like Alzheimer's and dementia that one of the problems is that these dendrites degenerate. And so now that thought stops and it can't continue on. Well, what red wine does, specifically red wine, is that because of the resveratrol, it will activate something called a sirtuin-1 protein. And this protein will make new dendrites form. So if you are in the process of trying to change some of your habits, if you want to improve your thought patterns and work on things like memory and trying to create a new life in general, which a lot of you are doing here, you're trying to change your eating patterns. A glass of wine. I'm not saying a bottle of wine. I'm not saying drink all the time. I'm saying that there can be some benefit based off of research that wine, red wine, can regrow some of these dendrites so you can create new thought patterns. And so that you can, your memory, if your memory is slipping, might help you with some regrowth of dendrites for memory. Now, if you've watched my channel long enough, you know there's a lot to memory. Fasting can increase something called BDNF. And BDNF really helps with fertilizer for the brain. It will help with these dendrites. You guys who've been through my heavy metal detoxing, you know that makes a difference as well in the dendrites. Okay? So that's number 4. So those were 4 things. It lowers cortisol. It can stimulate autophagy. It can improve the diversity of your microbiome. And it can increase your sirtuin proteins, okay, for dendrites. So, and most of that is red wine, by the way, okay? Let's talk about the cons. You guys that are trying to burn fat, when you have ethanol, which all of these have alcohol in it, so ethanol is the chemical name for alcohol. When you have ethanol in your system, it signals to the liver to stop burning fat. So for a lot of you guys, if you're stuck with ketosis, you're trying to lose more weight, then you may want to completely avoid any kind of alcohol in general. So it can, especially, a glass here and there, you're going to get the pros. But over time, if you're doing a lot of it, it may shunt your fat burning capabilities. Okay, second thing is that your liver is the organ that breaks down estrogen. So if you're drinking a lot, and this applies to all alcohol, but if you were drinking a lot of wine, then the possibility of it causing some congestion in that liver, your liver overworking, and when your liver is overworking, it's not going to break down the harmful estrogens as well. So when your liver doesn't break down harmful estrogens, then what ends up happening is you're going to see some spikes in bad estrogens, leads to things like breast cancer, so ovarian cancers, prostate cancer. So we need your liver healthy and happy. So please don't overdo this. Okay. Third thing, and we're seeing this so much in my resetter group and you guys that fast with us. If you're one of those people where you're fasting and you're doing ketogenic lifestyle and you're not dropping weight, there's a good possibility that your detox pathways are shut. And so you start to self-detox and the body's holding on to everything. And so it doesn't open those detox pathways up. I'm going to do a video specifically on the detox pathways so we can talk about this here on my channel a little deeper. But again, we come back to weight loss. That if you're struggling to lose weight, especially as you apply the fasting and ketogenic, then I would ditch all alcohol because there's a good chance that it's going to slow down your body's ability to detox. Okay? So those are kind of, if you're trying to balance hormones, you're trying to lose weight, then you may decide that those cons are more important and you're going to ditch the wine. Whereas if you're looking for more maintenance, you're looking for longevity, you're looking for memory, all that kind of stuff, you can look at the possibility of the pros that I mentioned here. Okay? Let's finish with this. Now, how the heck do you pick a good wine? So our favorite wine, I'll put the link in here, is called Dry Farm Wines. And it hats off to Todd White. He basically created or searched for wines that were low in sugar, low in chemicals, so they don't have a lot of glyphosate sprayed on them, pesticides. So they're low in toxicity, and they're low in alcohol. So those of you trying to lose weight, that ethanol is lower, so it's going to be easier on the liver. So I will put the link to Dry Farm Wines. These are 3 Dry Farm wines that we use and or that we subscribe to. In my household, that's all we drink are Dry Farm wines. So you can go check out their site. But here's the general premise, is that you want to look at the alcohol content, and you want the alcohol in order for something to be a Dry Farm wine, it needs to be below 12.5% alcohol or lower. The second thing is that you got to look at the region and where the wine comes from. I live 45 minutes south of Napa, and many Napa wines are full of glyphosate and pesticides. I say that with a broken heart because I can drive up to some of the greatest wineries here in the world, but there's a lot of spraying of glyphosate in American wines. France, Italy, Austria, those countries are a little more rigid in their allowing of pesticides and glyphosate to come in. And what you notice when you do low sugar, when you are doing wines from countries like those, is that this is what Todd says, is that they're like hangover-free wines. But if you're sitting at a restaurant and you're trying to order, we always order an Italian wine or a French wine. Sometimes we'll do a white Veltliner from Austria. Spain has some good wines. So, but you rarely can go wrong with the Italian and the French. We ask the waiter about the percentage. What's the alcohol percentage? Can we see it? We look for things like organic grapes, biological wines. So when you're looking at a menu, can you ask if you have any biological wines? Or biodynamic wines. Those are key words that will get you in the ballpark. Okay? So there you go. You get to decide for yourself. But as we go through the holidays, there is a smart way that you can be drinking wine. There is a way that it can benefit you. And now you know the pros and cons. So you get to decide, is it working for you? Last thing I will tell you is that we are doing a really cool detox event on January 11th. It's called the Reset Experience. And we're going to go through all different types of fasting. Dr. Daniel Pompa will be speaking, who is one of the leading experts in fasting and detox in our country. Dr. Shane Morris will be here, who is a microbiome specialist. And Dry Farms Wines has agreed to come, and they will be serving wine actually in my clinic. We're going to do an after party talking about these wines. So if this intrigues you, join me at the event, and not only will you get educated on everything else, but you also get a glass of wine. So as always, hope that helps.